up, YouTube? It's Dan here, and today I'm doing something a little kind of different. I recently got my not recently, got my hands on a sample of John Varvatos 10th Anniversary Special Edition, and I really only had enough for one wearing, so I broke it out and I wore it to work yesterday, and just in case anybody was interested that hasn't gotten their nose on it, I thought I would share what it's like. Now, wait till you get a load of the notes in this one. Holy smokes, I was excited. At the top, we've got cinnamon, bergamot, and orange, and at the heart, there is vetiver, patchouli, and leather, and at the base, we've got labdanum, amber, resin, woody notes. Damn, it almost sounds like John Varvatos was making a fragrance just for me. But anyways, this one is like John Varvatos original and John Varvatos vintage, where it's rich and sweet and warm. So I love that. That's awesome. Another great one out of that house for sure. Now, as far as how this plays out on my skin, the major players in this one is the cinnamon and the vetiver, where at the foundation of this one, holding it up, there is a velvety, tough leatherness there with a rich and sweet amber. Now, the amber and the leather that are in this are not loud in your face. They are just there holding up the cinnamon and the sharp, green, earthy vetiver that's there. Now, that is pretty much how it stays for the entire life on my skin, where at the top of this, maybe like the first hour, there is a very subdued fruitiness there from the orange, and in the final stages of this fragrance, well, let me talk about longevity first, where John Varvatos got it right in this one. If anyone's familiar with original and vintage, there's a lot of talk about projection and longevity issues, where with this one, there is not. At least not on me. Projection is great. I got noticed at work, so of course I appreciate that. And longevity, I applied this one at 3 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday, and I went to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning. And at 2 o'clock in the morning, I could still smell it. It was still going. So you gotta flip and love that for sure. Now, the second half of this fragrance, after, I don't know, the 7-hour mark or something like that, this one does get fickle like the other JVs do, where I immediately thought, you know, when I started just smelling amber, that I was hitting the dry down phase. But you know what? I was wrong. Because, you know, 10, 15, 20 minutes later, the cinnamon and the vetiver came back. And then it would just go to amber. And then the cinnamon and the vetiver would come back. And that's what it did for the whole flippin' rest of the time. Because when I went to bed at 2 and I was sniffing my arm, the cinnamon and the vetiver were back again. Man, but that's okay, because I appreciate and I love just the smell of amber. And when the cinnamon and the vetiver come back, I love that just as well. Awesome. Now, where this one is at fault with me, maybe I'm just getting a little bit too finicky, a little bit too picky with my nose as I go on, because I really believe that this is an excellent fragrance, especially if you're not, you know, one of us guys, someone like me, who's a little nuts and collects tons of smells and fragrances. You know, this one is a rock star for sure. Definitely worth checking out. But as for me, I would have liked to have seen the woodiness and the resin smoky quality in this one amped up a little bit, and then she would have been damn perfect. But it's still excellent, you know, still one that I think I'm gonna have to get, because I would really like to play around with this one. Maybe with layering, you know, layering this with Amber Absolute or even Montal's Full Incense, just to bring some of that resin smoky quality out of it just a little bit more. And plus, the bottle is killer for sure. Man, that would look excellent on the shelf. Damn, that's awesome. You know, that, excuse me, that house definitely makes killer bottles. Love it for sure. And it's still actually my favorite designer house out of the bunch. I love the originality, and I love the flavors that come out of that house. Even though, you know, longevity sometimes might not be there, I don't care. I just love the the scents and the aromas that that house produces for sure. Now, in that amber dry down, in case there are people out there that aren't familiar with amber as a note, amber can almost come off like a vanillic type of sweetness, but it's not though. It's more of like maybe a maple syrupy kind of sweetness, something like that. When amber does not have its resin quality there, that's kind of what it's like. Now, I love both. I love amber when it's just sweet, and I also really love amber a little bit more when it's got the richness and the sweetness there, but it's also got that full-blown resin smoky quality about it. That's a rock star for me, for sure. Love that. Now, as far as how my day at work went, this one was pretty much half and half, you know, but at least projection was there, longevity was there. There was this one lady who had a flippin' huge smile on her face, and she really loved it. Another lady, not so much. There was this one guy who told me I smelled like a barrel. I don't know what that means. Kind of sounds good to me, though. But as far as I'm concerned, this is a definite must check out in my book. Especially if you love original and you love vintage, you are going to love this one for sure. I pretty much guarantee. Another rock star from the John Varvatos house. Now, that's it. That is my take on this fragrance. Hope you guys enjoy. Take care, and we will see you soon.